What's up YouTube? Anthony coming in with another video this week. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about your email follow-ups, how to get high open rates on your email follow-ups, how to do your email marketing with your legacy follow-up series, whether you're using Aweber, GetResponse, or MailChimp. I'm just going to give a couple tips on what I'm doing, some of the mistakes I've made along the way, and how I've increased my open rates. And stay tuned for the video. Subscribe and comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, so the first thing I want to talk about is why email follow-ups. So the reason you want to do email marketing, you want to have email follow-ups set in place, doesn't matter what niche you're promoting. A lot of people, they won't buy the first time around. They need to know you, like you, and trust you, and then they'll buy from you. So always remember that when you're doing email marketing, this is long term. Building your email list is going to build you residual income the more you grow your list. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a few mistakes that I've made, and I want to give you guys some tips on what to look out for when you're doing your email marketing and you're setting up your campaigns. So the first big mistake that I've made when doing my email follow-ups is beating up my list. And if you've been in the game for a while, you know exactly what that is, beating up your list. So that means basically when someone opts into your landing page or your funnel, they opt in, you send them an email, that's fine. But let me give you an example. What I was doing what another person was doing, sending an email every day. Every day I was sending an email. I was beating up the list and building a horrible relationship with my subscriber. So I kept getting unsubscribes to my email list, and you don't want to do that. Don't get unsubscribes to your email list. But I was getting unsubscribes, and I realized another mistake that I was doing was once they opted into my email list, I would send them the offer that initially that I wanted them to purchase. And what I did is I mixed in other offers I was trying to sell them into, and I figured that was a big mistake. And the reason why that was a big mistake was, one, they weren't buying the mixed offer that I was trying to mix in. For example, by the time they got to email 3, for example, the first product I was trying to sell them was clickbank passive income. And then the 3 emails later, I was telling them about how to use YouTube in an email so they could make money. I tried to sell them into a YouTube program. So the open rates were low, the engagement was low, so I don't recommend doing that, and that's a few mistakes that I've made. So I want to give you guys a couple tips also on what to look out for when setting up your email campaigns, and whether you're using Aweber, GetResponse, or MailChimp, or whatever your autoresponder is. Most of the email companies out there, they have a double opt-in feature. So if you're not familiar with the double opt-in feature, I use Aweber, so I'm more familiar with Aweber. But what happens is when the double opt-in feature is turned on, when someone opts into your funnel, they get an email in their inbox saying, do you verify this? And then they have to accept it. If they don't accept that email, then they're never going to see your email follow-ups. So you always have to make sure you turn off your double opt-in feature. So in Aweber, you just go into the back office settings and you can turn in the double opt-in feature. But I also recommend calling Aweber or whoever your autoresponder is so they can remove the double opt-in. That may be the reason you're getting low opt-ins to your funnel and people aren't seeing your emails, is because you don't have that set up. You don't have the double opt-in removed. So another thing I wanted to talk about is be transparent in your emails. What I did when I very first got started is I went to Upwork.com and I found someone who had, I guess, an email template. And what I did is I used the email template and added it in, and the open rates were very low. I was getting maybe 3 to 7% open rate. And I learned that when I'm transparent and I'm taking the time and writing the emails out myself, being creative as possible, I noticed that my open rates went up, the engagement was more. And what I mean by the engagement, when I'm sending out my email sequences, I actually started realizing people were actually responding back to my emails, wanting to know more information about what the product was I was selling them. And another piece of advice I want to give you, you may wonder, when will the sales come in from doing my email follow-ups? Well, for me personally, I've noticed between email 8 and 9 is when my sales are coming in. So if you've been looking at the screen, this is one of the example ones that I have set up right now. I probably have about I have three main niches, and my main niche, as you know, it's business opportunity. I love promoting BizApp. And this is just an example of a email campaign I set up. So I set 2 variations of this up. As you see, what I do personally is when someone opts in, I send them the email immediately. It says, "Welcome, you're in, my friend." And then it talks about the offer. I put a call to action into it, so 9 times out of 10, they're going to click on that and make sure that they go to the offer. But they're probably already at the offer from opting into my funnel anyways. But I always send that initial email. The second day, I send an email saying, "Did you get this?" And that email is just referring back to the email I sent on day 1 to make sure they got the information. And then after that, I go into my main email sequence, and then I send one 3 days later, and then 4 days later, and then 4 days after that. And what I try to do is I try to send 2 emails a week. That's how I've been having 18 to 40% open rates. And now believe me, this hasn't always been like that. I have other email sequences set up where I'm getting anywhere between 8 and 15% open rates because I'm running different tests. I'm beating up my list in that specific niche, and I'm testing and I'm seeing what's working, what emails are being open and what's not, and I'm testing. You always have to test and improve. Move your email sequences around. Try different variations of everything. Change out the title. Another thing you want to keep in mind is make sure that the email you're sending out is going to the primary inbox. A lot of times what happens is a lot of people don't realize it. Their email is being sent to the promotion tab or spam. So keep an eye out on that. Do a send test. Send it to yourself and just double check. So also I wanted to talk about a test I have set up right now. So currently I'm running a similar test, and what I'm doing is I have my email sequence set up, and I'm doing 1 email every 7 days, and so far I'm on email 3. I'm getting anywhere from 75% to 100% open rate on that test. I want to keep everybody updated in the loop on that test. So if you're struggling with email follow-ups, if you have a question about copy, feel free to let me know. If you have any questions regarding email follow-ups and your sequence and setting up your Aweber or your other autoresponders, feel free to leave a comment below. I answer all the questions. I'm always here to help. So just for the final recap, make sure you don't have double opt-in feature on. Be transparent in your email. Don't beat your email list to death. Remember, always remember, building your email list is for the long-term results. I don't want to stress how important it is to build your email list, but that's where the true money is made. Thanks for watching.